The opinions expressed in the video you are about to see are solely those of BoatTest.com and its test captain.
Today I'm on Beneteau's Swift 52. In my opinion, a very nice looking boat, but looks only take you so far. You have to be comfortable on board as well. So let's do a full features walkthrough and see how Beneteau is done with the Swift 52. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve.
Since the Swift 52 was designed for cruising, let's start with the exterior with an eye towards functionality.
As we come forward from the helm, we've got a Portuguese bridge that wraps all the way around. Great place to be off watch. A walkthrough will get you to the foredeck, and of course if it's not a rainy day, you're going to have cushions on this seat so you have nice forward-facing visibility. Fully forward, look at the good-sized bollards we have here. A huge winch with accommodations for dual anchors. The rails are 1.5 inches thick. Standards call for 24-inch height. These are 26 inches high. Surprisingly, the Swift 52 does not have an asymmetrical layout. The side decks are the same size on both sides. There's a bulwarks door that'll let you get access to the dock for easy tie-ups. And here's an interesting feature. Underneath the deck hatch, recessed fuel fills. Now as we come to the aft cockpit, look at the size of these cleats right next to what would be the optional warping winch. The aft cockpit measures just under 14 feet across by just over 7 feet fore and aft. And of course on a nice sunny day we would have cushions out here giving you a nice gathering area. A large hatch in the aft deck gives you access to the lazarette, which doubles as a mechanical room. Let's take a look. From here I've got easy access to the generator, the fuel filter, and the sea strainer for the generator. Washer-dryer combination, and on the forward bulkhead is a door leading to the engine compartment. Now while this is an owner-operator's boat, not everyone wants to get themselves dirty with oil changes, handling lines, washdowns, so we do have accommodations for crew. I'm able to stand nicely in front of the sink with 5 feet 9 inches of overhead space. There's a single berth and a head right next to the sink. I've got an opening port light over the head and an opening hatch for ventilation and emergency egress over the berth. Now as we come up into the raised pilot house, we can see yet another example that this is clearly a cruising boat. Let's take a look at some of the features, starting with this beautiful helm. The helm is positioned on an 8-inch elevated platform above the main deck. The Beneteau helm seat is very comfortable, electrically operated for fore and aft, up and down, as well as reclining. Now you've got a 29-inch leather-wrapped destroyer wheel. Dual multifunction displays, in this case 12-inch wide screens. Over on the right-hand side, depth gauge and autopilot. Analog gauge is just above. Very happy with the location of the engine controls and the bow thruster because you're not going to be docking this boat by looking aft through the main salon. More than likely you'll be opening up the side door to the Portuguese bridge and looking down the entire length of the boat while you have full control of the engines and the thrusters. Look at these window mullions. They're probably the smallest I've seen in class, but they're obviously very strong because the Swift 52 has an offshore CE rating B class for 16 people. And of course the fact that we have a rainy day brings up the need for the defrosters in front of the windshields. Diagonally across from the helm, 16 inches up from the main deck, it's a comfortable settee. This is obviously going to be the most popular spot on the boat while we're underway. Now forward on the port hand side, it's nice to see that Beneteau still considers paper charts to be a staple of a cruising boat. Here we have ample room for a chart table. A drawer not quite big enough to hold full-size charts, but definitely for chart kits. And an LED light on a gooseneck just above. Just behind the helm, there's easy access to the bridge deck. Now you can access the flybridge from either the forward helm or the aft cockpit. And I have to say it's a very comfortable helm up in the bridge. 45-degree angle on the destroyer wheel. Over to the port side there's a wraparound settee with a beautiful teak table. And this will be a good time to point out that there's an option for a bimini top that comes to the foredeck. Over to the starboard side, an entertainment center with a large sink. Option for a gas or electric stove. And refrigerator underneath. The boat deck measures 11 feet 8 inches fore and aft by 8 feet side to side. Now let's take a look at the accommodations forward. Forward, we have the VIP stateroom. The door is held open by a magnetic catch, and as I enter the stateroom, I see we have a large island berth, queen size, 6 feet 10 inches by 5 feet 10 inches. Looks like it's only accessible from one side. There's standing room to the starboard side. Headroom, plenty of it on this boat. 6 feet 7 inches of overhead space in this forward cabin. One thing I notice is how beautiful the finish is even in the staterooms. As we exit the forward VIP, to port, we have the guest accommodations with over-under bunks. This is probably where I would put my tall guests because these are 5 foot 10 inches of headroom. You've got the usual accommodations for upper and lower storage. If you're a cruising couple that rarely has a lot of overnight guests, there are accommodations for making this into a walk-in closet accessible from the master stateroom. Directly across the companionway, we've got the guest head with a separate shower, and I see a seat so you can use the shower while the boat is underway. The shower also has a separate port light from the main head that's got another port light for light and ventilation. Now let's continue aft and take a look at the full beam master stateroom. Full beam master stateroom has an island berth accessible from both sides, huge windows with the opening port lights embedded inside, a vanity with a mirror underneath, storage to the side and underneath, both nightstands. The storage continues over on the port side, and then there's another full-size window with an opening port light, so there's so much natural light coming into this master stateroom. Just forward, we have a closet with plenty of shelf space, and this is where your walk-in closet leading to the guest stateroom would be if you went for that option. And the entryway to the master stateroom is the master head, and it's pretty much a mirror image to what we saw in the guest head. Separate shower stall, seat for while it's underway, 2 opening port lights, same storage accommodations. Now let's take a look at the galley and the salon area. The U-shaped galley has 6 feet 7 inches of overhead space, 3-burner electric stove with C-rails, storage up above 13.5 inches deep, so it will hold full-size dinner plates, microwave to the forward bulkhead. Coming over to the other side, we've got a window, opens up to give you ventilation in addition to the exhaust fan over the stove, a 2-basin stainless steel sink. I like this counter space, which makes a great transitional area over to the salon for just passing the food through. Plenty of counter space, and just underneath, dishwasher. On the starboard bulkhead, you have an ice maker, refrigerator, and freezer, all behind wood cabinets. The salon features U-shaped seating that's very comfortable. There's a table with expandable leaves, and it's high-low, so you can use it as a dining table or cocktail table. Over on the starboard side, across from the dining area, a credenza for additional storage, fiddles all around the edge. Notice the seats that fit in right next to the credenza. They pull out to add additional seating to the dining area. Well, that's our full features walkthrough of Beneteau's Swift 52. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.